Good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good morning. I am
How
loving the background.
you loving the what?
The background.
Oh yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
background. I wonder if they can see that.
You said what?
I wonder if the people can see that.
I think so. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Oh, yep, they can
Another
see it.
Saturday with I Am She.
Another Saturday, guys. Thank
I feel like I
you.
want to sing. I don't know. It just came to you. I just feel like I want to just sing. It just came to you. I just want to. It's morning. All right, I quit. That was all I had. How was your week?
You
Y'all
okay?
know I played too, but yeah, I'm okay.
You sure?
I'm excited. It's my birthday week. What you talking about?
Your birthday ain't until next week.
It don't matter. Did you celebrate your birthday for a whole week
No,
plus
I
a
celebrate
month?
my birthday for a whole month.
Exactly. So you just gonna come for me like that?
My birthday all month. The whole month is
Y'all,
July.
it is
My
my
birthday.
birthday. My birthday is Tuesday, and I will be none of your business. But y'all, I'll be
Okay.
39. I will be 39. And you know what happened to me this week? Well, yesterday. Yesterday I went to the bar after I got off work. I said I need a drink because these people were stressing me out. So I said I'm going to the bar. I'm going to go get me a drink. But then I heard karaoke next door because it's like the walk-in bar where you can buy alcohol. But then
Mhm.
it's like a sit-in bar that's attached to it. So I was going in
Mhm.
the bar. I was by myself because I dropped David off around the corner so he could record some music. So I said I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna get me a little drink. I'm gonna come back home. I'm gonna watch P Valley because the new season is on. So
Sure.
I go in there and I'm like, okay, I hear karaoke. Is it wrong for me to go in the bar by myself? Because I really was going there bar by myself and go have some drink.
No.
They got good wings, and I really was getting ready to go do some karaoke with some strangers because I was just in the mood for it. I was like, I'm getting ready to go in this bar and I'm getting ready to do some karaoke. I don't know who in there. It's a little hole in the wall bar down the street. I was really getting ready to go do some
What was the
karaoke.
name of it?
It's called Captain D's. It's right down Eastern
Oh, okay.
Avenue.
Okay, nice, 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 nice.
But yeah, I ended up getting drinks and coming back home because I wanted to. I've been trying to catch.
Good
Hey,
morning,
good morning.
Mona.
Yeah, I really wanted to catch. Mona said no. Thank you, thank you. I was getting ready to go in there, and I was getting ready do some karaoke,
I'm doing my podcast.
but
What's wrong?
I decided to come back, watch TV, and I
I
still
was
couldn't get
saying
a chance to
he
watch
went
the
back to
new
sleep.
season of Daily
I'm
because
gonna text you my mother number.
my day going
All right. Mhm.
Netflix locked me out, and then it kept saying it don't recognize. I was so mad. I'm like, really, really. The first day that P Valley started, the first I've been waiting for this season for a year, just about, and it just started, and I still have not been able to watch it, and I'm angered right now. But anyway, so yeah, so I tried to start my birthday off yesterday. It didn't work because David left me. He ended up leaving me. And after they got finished recording, they went back to the bar, to the same bar that I was going to go in and do my karaoke. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
The same day that I was going to go back in, the same bar I was getting ready to go and do my karaoke, he left me, went back to the daggone bar, and then went to an after hour joint and was like, you want to come? No, it's too late now because y'all already started. I don't want to start late.
Wait a minute, you mad because they started drinking without you?
Yeah.
It's called catch up, sweetie.
No. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so today I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna go get my hair done by my stylist, Miss Kim. She specializes in locks. If y'all looking for somebody, because her locks is down to her butt. Matter of fact, it's past her butt. Her locks are really, really long. And she tells you like how to maintain and treat your locks and everything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to her today and let her hook me up. So y'all don't mind my hair. Y'all know
Okay,
I usually
lock.
keep it done. Yes, honey, I'm getting ready to get these locks. So I wish I could put some dye in it. I want to go green.
Okay.
I
I
want to
like
go
that.
green.
Why you can't put no dye in it?
Well, she said until it starts like, because I still got some ends that are like stringy from when I was doing processing, when I was putting like the chemicals and stuff. Well, I
Mm.
wasn't putting chemicals, but I did not know that when you dye your hair, it actually straightens your hair.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So I dyed my hair before
Um,
I started my locks, and
um,
it straightened my ends back up, even though I stopped doing like perms and all that stuff for like at least like 2 years. I was still dyeing my hair different colors, and it was still straightening out my hair. So I ended up getting my locks, but a lot of them are stringy at the end. So she said I really can't do it until they all kind of,
get
lock
nappy like.
in, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my little hair twisted. Find somewhere to go today. Y'all tell me, where can I go today for my birthday weekend? I want to go somewhere different. I want some Jamaican food. That's what I really want. Some Jamaican food.
Um, Hot Island Spice is out there by where you live at. It's in Harford County off of 40. Island
Oh,
Spice
really?
is a good one. Yes, because dye is too strong, and that's why people hair fall out. So, yep, dye
Okay.
is strong. Dye is a chemical which
I did not. I
processes
never
your
knew that.
hair.
I never
I
knew
just
that.
thought you knew that, but I guess
I
not.
didn't. I did not. I didn't. I didn't.
um,
But it's growing
Also,
though.
there's a
Look,
couple
Indira,
places
I'm
in the
getting some
city.
length now, honey. I got some length.
It's a couple little new Jamaican spots in the city. It's one new one down South Point called Denzel Shark Bar.
Oh,
That's a
I
new
got to write that
that's a
down.
new spot. There's
Text it to me.
also a couple places in the city. Judy's just opened up a new spot down in Canton. That's black owned as well, of course.
Okay.
And there's also another one called Get It In, like Get It INN, and
Yeah.
that's a Jamaican spot in Canton as well.
Y'all know, okay, time out. Okay, speaking of Jamaican spot, I just found out they get ready to open one in White Marsh this summer at the Avenue.
By the same people who own Island Spice.
Really?
Yeah, so the one that I told you about, the first one that's on Route 40 in Howard County,
Yeah. They
Harford
said
County.
Harford County. It was
Yeah,
Harford
it's
County.
in Harford County. They're black, of course, they're black owned, and they're opening up a new Jamaican restaurant in White Marsh.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah, me
Giving a little
neither.
bit of everything. So they got the
I just wish they would have named it something else, but I guess not. I guess they should. I feel like they should have named it Island Spice as well, but maybe start like a little
they
franchise. But
tried.
they named it something else. I guess it's Co Konoko, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it was Kinoko.
Konoko. Yeah.
Kino, Kinoko, I think it's what it was. Maybe
Yeah,
they
it looks.
named it.
Yeah, it does look good. Huh?
Maybe they naming it, and thank you. Maybe they
It's.
naming it after, how when it's like a
I
family
forgot what
owned
they said
business.
the name of it was. I read it. I read it online yesterday. Actually, right before you had sent it to me, I had read it earlier that day because Fox 45 had did like a special on him or whatever. So I was reading it and I forgot what they said the name of it meant though. I forgot. But I'm happy
Uh,
about that shit. I'm black.
right,
It's a black
right. I
owned
like
restaurant
the
up
look,
in here
and at the Avenue at that.
at the Avenue with that.
Like
Yeah.
the White Marsh, I feel like White Marsh is really evolving with black owned businesses because
Mhm.
before
Mhm.
there was not a black owned business even in the mall. There was no black,
Mhm.
thank you. There was no black owned business in the mall, but now they have black owned beauty salons. They got a
Mhm.
black owned cheesecake little spot in the middle. I forgot what hers is
Mhm.
called.
Mhm.
I didn't know that was black owned.
Yeah, they got a lot of black owned businesses are now popping up everywhere that we are not expecting.
And
For me, my biggest shock is for Fells Point. There are a lot of black owned businesses coming to Fells Point, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the
right.
vibes, especially
Remember, because
being on
remember
that main strip.
Because
I am happy
remember
about
when we used to go to Fells Point, it was no black on anything.
no black owned
Everything
businesses.
was
And
strictly white
for
on.
them, I don't know if anybody remember when they used to do WJZ used to do the Manic Monday,
Yeah,
where so the black owned business is at that spot. They sold it to somebody that is black. So I feel like
ooh,
that is a big
okay,
deal.
okay.
Yeah, so it's right at that place. It's called Denzel Shark Bar. It seems lit. The couple times I walked past it, it seems lit, and I follow them on Instagram, so it
Okay.
seems lit.
Okay.
A lot of times I try to follow people to see, follow them on Instagram, see what their business look like, see what the crowd is
Right.
like, see what kind of specials they may have, because you never know when you might want to pop up somewhere and get a little something different. So
Right.
I
Right.
like it. I like it.
Ooh, I'm about to go find me. I'm about to do some bar hopping today.
Girl,
About
you
to
know
get
you ain't ball hopping.
Yes, I am. I'm about to get
Who you
cute in
ball
about.
hopping with?
I almost slipped. Let me tell you what else I did yesterday. I was excited. I don't know why. At first, I wasn't excited. It was my birthday. I was just like, kind of like, it's another day. I don't care. Y'all know how I've been feeling the last couple years. Y'all be always calling me like, what you gonna do for your birthday? I don't know. I don't really want to do anything. But literally, when I got off of work, I don't know, just something just sparked at me. I was like, it's my freaking birthday. What am I doing? I almost slid back into 1800. I went to the
Okay.
bar. I was
The
get
flavored kind, like the
no.
mixed up kind already, or the straight liquor
The
kind, the
straight
straight tequila.
1800. I looked, I went back, I looked again, I went back, I looked again. I said, no, I'm not even going to do that to myself because I'm not going to be able to wake up and do this podcast. I ain't going to do it to myself. BlackRoses can do it all day long, but I ain't
All
going to
day.
do it to myself.
My friend asks me all the time, how can you do it? You could go out on Thursday and wake up the next day. Now, some days I don't make it to work. Some days I be like, look, bitch, I need to be a little bit late. But other days I'll be like, I'm not, what's up? You know, like, and then, like, I didn't even drink last night. I had, like, a cup of Henny, and then I didn't even really drink. I wasn't really feeling too good. And I slept in today. I slept in.
That's
I
what I
got a
had.
good night's sleep. I slept in today, and it felt good to sleep in. It felt good to, it felt good.
You know what? I'm done with you. Yeah, that's what
It
I
felt good
actually.
to just lay there though. It felt
Right.
good to just not have anything to do. I mean, other than get up and get myself ready for the podcast, but it just felt good to not have to jump up and be like, oh my god, I gotta
Right.
get ready for work. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. It was just like I'm gonna lay here. I'm going to actually just lay here and just not do anything.
Right. My weekend. So my last 2 weeks have been so busy. I ain't even gonna lie. I called Blake Rose. I was like, I forgot we had a podcast this week because I've been so busy trying to do that.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
y'all, and then last weekend when we went to that Nerf party, remember I told you we had Trent's Nerf party to go to. Right, just before we was getting ready to leave out and go to the daggone Nerf party, these boys decided to get them a new Nerf gun. Now, mind you, they got over 20 Nerf guns, but because a new one came out, they decided I want to try a new Nerf gun for the party. So I took them to Walmart. They got this new Nerf gun. Well, I didn't know the Nerf gun they bought produces the same amount of power as a BB gun. I
Oh
didn't know
wow.
that. So we took the guns. They took the guns. They setting their guns out because we get ready to go to the party. Kylie sits down. I don't know why. That's your godson. I don't know why. He sits and looked in the Nerf gun and accidentally shot himself in the eye
Oh no.
with that powerful Nerf gun that produces the same amount of power
So
as a
it was just
BB
a
gun.
cotton one. It was just like the foam thing, right? Not like a.
No, it was the phone one, but it's a little tiny one, and it has the hard part. He's literally right here. He sat like this close
Ooh.
and shot himself in the eye. He still can't see. His vision is still blurry. He keep having headaches. I had to take him to the ER on Monday because I tried to wait for his pediatrician because it was Saturday. So I said, well, you know what? I'm not gonna take him to the ER because he said he still wanted to go to the party. But by the time he did that first round of doing the Nerf guns and shooting the Nerf guns, he was in tears after that first round. He's like, Mommy, I want to go home. He was in tears. His eye was so freaking red. I gave him ice. I gave him Tylenol. He couldn't even sleep. He woke up like 3 times throughout the night, and I had to keep giving him Tylenol. So I said, well, I'm not taking you to the hospital because I feel like they ain't gonna do nothing but give you ice
Right.
and Tylenol like I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
Well, turns out for parents who are on here, FYI, if your child ever shoots himself in the face with a Nerf gun, you still want to take them to the ER because they said his retina or
Could be damaged.
could be damaged. It could have scratched, and it
Mhm.
actually could have blinded him. And they actually in the ER, they actually have like the thing, the little machine that they use at the eye doctor that they
Mhm.
were able to still examine his eye. And I didn't know that. To me, I'm just thinking like, what is they gonna do? I'll just wait for his pediatrician on Monday and keep giving him Tylenol and stuff like that. Called the pediatrician. Pediatrician was like, well, actually, we prefer for you to go to the ER because they have better equipment to be able, they have the equipment to be able to actually look into his eye, make sure that the cornea or whatever it's called is not scratched.
Cornea.
So yeah, that's what happened. We ended up going to the ER. They gave him some little drops. He doesn't have any scratches or anything, but I do have to do a follow up with a regular eye doctor because she said if he is still complaining, It should go away after a couple of days, but if he's still complaining about the headaches, which he has been every day.
Dear said I can't do it like I used to. A half a cup of rum and I'm done.
And Dara, I finished the whole bottle. I
Girl.
love me some rum. I will finish that whole bottle of rum and still be up. What you gotta do,
Listen.
let me tell you the secret to my rum. Okay, this is my mixture, and I've been mixing this for a while now. Everybody like it when I mix it. I do the rum, Red Bull, cranberry juice, and a little bit of the what's the little what is
Grenadine.
it called? It's the little stuff that they use in the drinks. I can't think
Grenadine.
of it. Grenadine. A little bit of grenadine, cranberry juice, Red Bull, and just a little splash on top of orange juice. Mix
You
that
lost me
all
at Red
together in
Bull.
a
You
blender
lost
with
me at Red
ice.
Bull.
What?
Oh, you making a frozen drink?
It can be frozen, or you can just drink it regular. If you just make it just a regular drink and you just put it in a cup and you don't want to like mix it or blend it, don't use the orange juice. Just use the Red Bull. Do the Red Bull and the cranberry juice at the same time so it can add up, so it can add up to the same amount. But do the Malibu and then do the grenadine and then the Red Bull and the cranberry. It tastes just like a Jolly Rancher. It tastes like a cherry Jolly Rancher.
What you said? What you want to do? What you was doing tonight? You don't know?
I don't know. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to
I
just
mean,
walk. I'm getting ready to live up town a little bit. I'm getting ready to show
girl,
out.
bye. Wait a minute? Are you alone or are you bringing a second party?
A second party? You mean my husband? Yes, I'm bringing my husband. I'm absolutely bringing my second party. I'm putting him in my pocket.
Well, girls, we're gonna go out by ourselves. So we were going to safari tonight. Me and a group of girls, we're going to safari tonight.
What's
If
safari?
you wanted to, safari is a club, and it is over there by the travel. Do you know where the old bus station is? The old Greyhound bus station
down there by the
travel plaza. No, the travel plaza right before they built the one over there by the radio station.
Over there, like O'Donnell.
Yeah, on Donald Street. Yeah.
Oh,
So
over here by me.
They actually turned that into a club. It's a really nice club. It's not no like, but it's nice. It's really nice, and it looks like a safari. It gives you an outside vibe.
I'm coming.
Palm trees and everything. It's really nice.
What time we leaving? I'm coming.
Girl, you ain't coming.
What time we leaving?
Y'all hear her now. She ain't coming.
What time we leaving?
Open invitation for anybody who would like to come and party with us. Well, me, because KD not coming.
What time we leaving?
I'm gonna be at safari tonight.
She ain't even gonna tell me what time we leaving. I'm trying to live my best life for my birthday.
10 o'clock.
I hate when she goes to the club at 10 o'clock. All right, y'all. Let me just let y'all know. BlackRoses might tell y'all she gonna be there at 10 o'clock. She not gonna get there till 11. I'm just gonna let y'all know.
12:30.
Since the first day of time that I have ever met her, she has never gotten to a club no earlier than 11. Since we first met, she has never gotten to a club or lounge.
The party can be from 4 to 8. I'm gonna get there at 7.
Even when I'm physically with her.
I'm trying to get better with my time, and I'm trying to get better with the things that I'm doing. Even with yesterday, I went to Jazzy Summer Night, and it was from 5 to 10. I got there at 8 o'clock.
Told y'all.
No, I got there at 9. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
She gonna waste your money.
But they stayed open to 11, so I was cool with it. And it was $40 to get in.
You gonna waste your money.
Jazzy Summer Nights has never been. Jazzy Summer Nights has always been free. Now that it has moved to Port Covington, it is $40 to get into Jazzy Summer Nights.
Don't go nowhere with BlackRoses. She gonna waste your money. She gonna have y'all go there at the bottom of the hour and think she gonna get her little.
See, that's the thing. All my other friends hold me accountable. My other friends hold me accountable, and I know you ain't talking because you be just as late as me. I had to just think about that. I know you ain't talking because you be just as late as me. And anyway, when I go places,
I do. I be late.
I
wait till the last minute.
I'll be on time.
I be looking at the time like I got a little bit of time. I got like 5 more minutes left. About 5 more.
No, what you got on?
Oh, minute.
He is off the day.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm about to just do some stuff for my birthday. I'm about to just.
If you want to go out, you can. the invitation is open. If you want to just bar hop in Fells Point, I understand, or wherever you want to
No,
bar
I
hop
want to
at.
go to the safari club. That
You
sounds
will really like it. It's really nice, and it's like a it's like a little. It got a little mixture of like a little Dave and Buster's in there because it has arcade games and they have like skee ball. They have they have a little bit. They have a little arcade section, and then they got like the dance floor, and they got like an outside section where you can smoke hookah, you can smoke weed, you can smoke your cigarettes, whatever you smoke. Probably not crack or whatever, but they do have the outside section where it's
I
still
wouldn't
kind of
think people
it's
out
still
in
in the
I
club, but
don't
it's an outside thing.
I would
It's
not
still
think the
inside
people
the
is
club,
out
but
at
it's
the club.
outside.
Well, I wouldn't
Huh?
think that people would be actually outside the club smoking crack.
You don't know what people would be doing, honey.
I don't think that you
You don't know.
you
People
go
will
go
smoke
in there
coke or whatever your drug of choice is. I don't
you
condone
go,
that, but
you go
yeah,
in there
they have
and
like a little outside section, and it's really nice. It's a really nice vibe.
so yeah, so I pretty much I don't know. I'm just feeling the summer. I am so excited that the summer is coming. I'm feeling
Girl, the summer is here.
I just
You
started
heard
getting my
it.
little shorts out. Me and Black
I
Roses was
wanna I
talking
wanna tell
about
my secret, but I don't want to tell my secret, but
what's your secret? What's your Victoria's
it's
Secret?
hot girl summer. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, you keep that
Hot girl
secret to
summer.
yourself. You don't tell nobody. That secret to yourself.
We outside. If you got a man, you got a husband who won't
I'm
be
gonna
there,
tell
don't come
y'all.
outside with me. Don't
I'm
come
gonna
outside
tell
with me.
y'all. I'm still coming.
If your man,
Be
if
a
your
team.
boyfriend, your husband, your
I'm
baby
still
daddy,
coming.
if
I'm
that
still
man gonna be
coming.
there that you outside with Crystal, don't come
I'm
outside.
still coming because me and David is a team. I'm still coming. Team David. Team David this summer. Team David. I'm still coming because we
You
team.
better go with David. You and David gonna be by y'all yourselves.
Team David. Team
we ain't
David and
doing
We're
no
down.
boyfriends and no
Then we bring
husbands
it
this
We're
time.
down as a
I'll see
third
you when I
party.
get home, baby. I'm gonna see you when I get home.
And we
You
bring
can
it We're
catch me at the after party.
and we bring it We're down as a third party.
Well, there unfortunately is not a Wardell anymore.
Okay, let's go on to something else. I ain't gonna bring all this up. So yeah,
So we just want to throw that out there.
me and Black Roses. Me and Black Roses. I ain't even gonna do all that. Me and Black Roses.
I'm telling you. I'll talk to you off this podcast, girl. But
So,
just know I'm outside.
well, you can't hold me accountable for you being single. I am still married, so you can't hold me accountable for you being single. I actually
What
enjoy.
song be like? I'm FREE, fuck nigga free. That mean I ain't
And
got
they
to
say
worry
the
about
same
no
thing
fuck
back to
nigga.
y'all. And she gonna come back pregnant by the end of the summer.
Yo, that my son will be 20 in October. You think I'm gonna come up with a baby? Ain't nobody
All
gonna
y'all
hold
to
me
sitting
down.
up there singing that song gonna come back pregnant by the end of the summer.
Not Crystal Gatlin, honey. Let me tell you something. Black Roses will not be having no babies. Ain't no babies coming about this one. Hey, you better come out already know how to feed yourself, change your pamper, know how to wash yourself. You better know how to do all that.
Oh my God. Yeah, y'all. But yeah, me and Black Roses was talking last week when we was talking about fashion. We got into like what's your go-to for the summertime? What's your go-to look? What you wearing this summer? And I think didn't you say something about you trying shorts this summer or no?
I'm trying shorts. I have on shorts today. They're a little
Me
short,
too.
but I have on shorts today.
I got on shorts too. Look at my shorts. Psych, let me stop.
Your shorts got a little bit of. Your shorts got a little bit more to it than mine. You can't really see. No, I don't want to show my shorts.
What you got on? Biker shorts?
No, I just got on some regular little shorts I had got from Target a few years ago that I was
you
actually
showing your legs though.
I got it from Target like a few years ago, and I never really wore them like under like over top of like a bathing suit. I did that, but I never really wore these outside.
So you putting your legs out?
My legs are out.
Okay.
But my other go-to is sundresses. I love me a pretty sundress.
So you be here for sundress season?
Huh?
So you be here for sundress season?
Oh, I'm always here for sundress season.
My butt not big enough for sundress season. I gotta get a little bit more butt for sundress.
Ladies, if you don't have a big butt, I'm sorry, sundress season is not for you.
I know that.
Try some biker shorts or
I will not do
something like
sundresses ever. Now I could do me a nice
sundresses
little.
are
I
for
could
big
do me a
booty
nice little band-aid
women.
dress.
Like
I could
no.
do me a
Or you
band-aid
could do
dress
a
all
little, yeah,
day.
you could do like a little bodycon dress. You could do a little cute
Sure,
little
sure
cute
can,
some cute shorts. You can do stuff that other
yeah,
big booty girls can't really do for real.
sure can,
It's
and
not really much, but I'm not here
I
to body shame anybody.
well,
You
no,
wear your
okay. Let
sundress,
me tell
skinny
you.
girl.
All right. So us slimmer girls, let me tell you. If you ain't got no butt, I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you want to still wear, if you prefer to still wear your what you just say? I'm losing my train of thought. I think
But
it's
your
because we get old.
sundresses.
Yeah, the sundresses. If you still want to wear your sundresses, I'm gonna tell y'all a trick. Only because my mother bought this dress for me a long time ago when she went to Jamaica, and I love that freaking dress. That's the only sundress I will wear. So if you kind of slim and you ain't really got a butt like the more buttlicious girls that their butt just kind of do all this in the sundress. If you ain't got no butt like that, but you like, okay, I'm gonna wear my sundress. So the key is getting a sundress that kind of curves right above your butt. That is the key. You can wear a sundress, but you have to get the one that kind of
Or like
has,
the ones with the back out.
yeah, yep,
Like the ones with the back out that got like
yep,
the little.
yes.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the
I like that.
key
Yeah.
to a summer dress. If you are a small girl and you ain't got no butt, because just the way it curves just above your butt, that allows your butt, like your actual figure of your butt, to show more.
Ooh, nice. Okay, come through with the fashion tip
I be knowing some
of the
stuff.
day.
I got to figure it out. I ain't never had no butt, so I got to figure these
For
things out.
me, my biggest thing is finding colors that match my skin. Yesterday, I wore a yellow dress, and I got a
Ooh, I've
lot
been
of
looking for
compliments
yellow.
on this dress. I got this dress off of Amazon like last year sometime.
I've
I
been
only
looking.
really wore it one time, but this year when I wore it, it's like I just got all of the compliments, and it's like I'm really trying to find different colors that work well with
Orange.
my skin.
You orange on
And
your
I think that light colors work well on darker toned women. I love green. I'm trying to start experimenting more with green. I want to
I
start
ordered
experimenting
a
more with like
lime green.
yellow.
I
I'm
ordered a
trying to
lime
move away from black
green
and
on green.
blue.
Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Royal blue on our skin is freaking beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Royal blue
Mm-hmm.
on that bright blue on our skin. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, that's enough.
I'm starting to like more. I'm starting to try to play around with more colors. Like you said, I want to try orange. I did see an orange outfit that my good friend Tamika has at her boutique. She has this pretty orange skirt that I really want to try. So I'm gonna try that. Nate said teal or
Or
turquoise. I
turquoise.
want to try
Ooh,
that
I love
too.
teal. That's my
I
favorite color.
love turquoise. So I'm gonna try to play around with a little bit of colors this summer. Try to see what works well with my skin. What kind of what goes good with me. And anybody who has any whatever expertise in that area and or any ideas, send them my way. I'll be more than happy to try them. I want to start playing around with different styles of hair. For me,
You say hair?
I want to grow up. Yeah.
Oh, lavender. That's a good one.
Yes,
Oh,
cousin.
that's a good one.
Yes, cousin. Lavender is pretty too for dark skin women.
Yeah.
I just love. It's no shade to the lighter tone women, but I just love the beautiful chocolatiness of our dark skin. Like I'm starting to love my skin more. I'm starting to love the color of my skin, how pretty it is. Like
I've always loved the color of my skin. What you talking about?
we are totally different.
I've been conceited since the beginning of time. So me, I've been conceited. What did I used to do when we was younger? I used to stop at every car and look at myself because it's just something about me. I might be rough right now, but I'm still keep to myself.
Yeah, that's how I be feeling. Like I feel like I look good, honey. I'm starting to tell myself a little bit more.
If you don't have that confidence, people can tell when you walking and you out and you know at the bars or you just out in general. When you don't produce that confidence for yourself, people can actually tell. But
that's the thing with me. I hide mine very well. Like I hide my my self-esteem and my insecurities about myself very well. Like very well. You wouldn't know that I deal with that unless you knew me on a personal level.
I did not. I never knew that. I never knew that how
You
she
would
said
never
something
know
about a
unless you
good
dealt with
show.
me on a personal level, like the real.
And on a
Yeah, you.
personal level, since
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean, I
her,
told you, but yeah,
I've never knew
yeah.
that. You walk with such confidence to me. Your attitude when you come
Dig
in the
it
room, you
all.
own a
Tell,
room.
tell.
You always smiling. I never knew that.
Yeah, always
You
smiling.
know
I'm like,
the good thing I like about us is that, and a lot of girls, I hear this in a lot of conversations coming up amongst so many women that I have met. It's not a competition.
yeah,
That's
it's not a competition. It is
biggest
not a
thing, and that's
competition.
why I love the type of
Speaking of
friendship that I
handsome
have
and
created.
sexy, look who has joined the conversation.
Ooh, what you got on?
Yeah, you know what, cousin? We are the only two darker skinned. Oh my God! Now that she mentioned it,
Out of your
all of
family?
my cousins are light skinned. Like all the girls are light skinned.
Mm-hmm.
My sister, my cousins, like oh my God! Now that she mentioned it, yes.
You know what, for me,
Oh my
real quick
God, that
before
is
Nate
so
jump on,
weird.
you know what, for me it was which it didn't break my confidence. It really didn't do
Yeah, it was
anything.
really
But now
hard
that I
growing
think
up.
about it, now that I'm older, when people always used to say, "You cute for a brown skinned girl,"
Yeah,
what
I don't like that. Don't
for a
tell me I'm
brown
cute for
skin?
no brown skin girl. I'm pretty period.
It never
Yeah,
bothered me,
cousin,
but now that
especially
I think
growing up.
about it,
Growing up, that shit was hard. Like being dark and everybody around you light. You're like, why am I different? You know, I always wonder why was I so
really,
different.
you should have had a
Yeah, girl.
conversation with Angie. You should have had a conversation with Angie.
But see, like in my family, I can honestly say in my family, we never talked about stuff like that. You know, my
Oh,
family wasn't really big on like. I don't know about how it was for my cousin growing up, but for me, my family wasn't too big on telling yourself that you're pretty or oh you are beautiful. We they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that we did. We didn't. Hey, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you're pretty. That wasn't no. That was not even thought about in my family. Not even thought about for me growing up. Like nobody
right.
instilled that into me to say, "Oh, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you are." You know, I love your skin tone. It wasn't thought of. For me, I didn't start doing that until I got well into my 30s. 30s.
Mm.
They don't get it. It's hard to give something that you never had. Slavery. Yeah, it really did. Like it really did. Like they never instilled that into us. Like if I ever had a daughter, that is my number one thing. Like even with Cash, I make sure I tell her, "Oh my God, look at my pretty girl today," and I look at her and I be like, "You pretty." Every morning
Absolutely.
she wake up, I be like, "Oh, there go my pretty girl. Look at my pretty baby." Like
That's what I was getting ready to
we
say.
never really did that. Like I can't remember anybody in my family ever making us do that. Like looking at you and telling you that your skin tone was pretty. Because like I said, most of my cousins, or the majority of my cousins, other than me and my cousin Constance, who was Nikki, I call her Nikki. Other than my cousin Nikki, who was Carmen, we are the only two dark skinned women. Like the
My
only
daughter
two.
is a mini me of me when I was younger. She just
So she
knows
said
it.
they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't.
She
My color
knows.
was always talked about. It was your pretty dark skinned girl. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. I never,
yeah.
which it never.
We used to have a conversation with Gemma. You cute.
You, that's what I was getting ready
Yeah,
to say,
you
man.
cute.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Gemma, you can't tell her nothing. You be like, Gemma, you cute. Gemma, you cute. You can't tell her nothing. And
Yeah.
it's and I think part of it also is that I'm like you with Cash. I tell her every morning. I've done this since she was born. Every morning, good morning, pretty. Good morning, beautiful. You know you cute. You know you
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. You know you is cute, girl. Look at you, pretty girl. Her father do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. Come here, my pretty girl. Look at my pretty girl. Y'all ain't gonna be able to
Cash
bring
to
my.
get to the point where she be like, I'm pretty. I be like, I know you pretty, mama. She be like, look at my hair. I'm pretty. I be like, yeah, you
Absolutely.
pretty, yeah.
You have to. You have to. You
You
definitely
have
have
to,
to
especially
because
with darker skinned little girls, especially with darker. And I don't even say nothing about, oh, you pretty for a dark skinned girl. I don't even mention her skin tone. I be like, oh, look
right.
at my pretty baby. Look at you. You so pretty today. Oh, you look pretty, mama. Even
You
when she got her little snot nose and got a little t-shirt on and run around the house with one sock on, you still my pretty girl. He
even
knows
boys
this.
too. I do the same thing
Even
with my
boys
boys
too.
too,
Yeah, even
though,
with boys
because
too. Yeah.
David, little David is dark as his father. He's like the darker out of all of us, and they do
Mhm.
that with boys too. They call. I've heard his cousin before tell him, "You little blackie," and I'm like, "Don't do
Don't say
that."
that.
So
Don't say
yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's like,
It
and I'm
needs
just
to go to both of your children.
Hmm.
Huh?
Both of your males and
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, I do it for both of them. I do it for both of them because it go men get it too. Men get that
Men
same
get it too. Men get it too.
especially when they in school. When they in school, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I heard a couple of times his cousin called him Little Black. She was joking because they was calling each other names back and forth, but it just kind of brought back like little boys actually get teased for being darker as well.
And
Yeah, they do.
we say
They
it's a
do.
joke, and it's the intention was a joke, but the fact that you say it, that's a
But
deep seated feeling. You believe that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
believe
you
those
do.
things because you
You
wouldn't
start
say
to
it if you
believe it.
did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie said, "This is why I love the MJB song." Yeah, MJB song. Good. I love that song, and I'm starting to listen to that more now myself too. And I love how she did the video. The video was even. It wasn't even just about her. The video was about all the women who done like the TikToks and the Instagram of her song, and all she did was they in the mirror telling themselves like, "Good morning, gorgeous." Like it was just so nice. She learned her confidence from modeling. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
did.
good.
She
That's
talking about
really
me,
good,
girl.
Ken. I know that's what I just said. That's really good,
I
Ken.
thought you talking about
I
you.
hate when people call me sexy black. Oh my god, I cannot stand
I've
it.
never
I
heard that
cannot stand it when
before.
somebody call me sexy black. Yeah,
I
girl.
have never
And they
heard
and
that
they
before.
still do it to this day. To this day,
Mm-mm.
like, oh, you cute with your little black self. Like, bitch, I'm pretty pretty.
That's offensive.
It
I be ready to
is.
fight. That sound like fighting words
I
to me.
walk right past them. They be like,
That
you can
sound
say thank
like
you. I
fight.
said, well, that's not really. I tell them that ain't really something to be proud of to call me black. I'm pretty pretty. Dark skin
Right.
or light skin. But
Right.
that is the part of colorism that is embedded into our society. If someone called me that while trying to pick me up, I would cuss them. That's exactly what
That's
I
what
do.
I just said. I just said that. I would come. I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
to fight.
Cuss
At this
their ass
point,
right out.
I'm ready to
But yeah,
fight.
that is a part of the colorism that is embedded in our society. Like, we were
Absolutely.
always told that, yep, sexy black, sexy fat, crazy.
Effect.
That's right. Like, we were always taught that light skin was the superior ones. Like, they were the better looking ones. Even back down to slavery, because they were the ones in the house and we were the ones outside.
Right.
Like, it is embedded so much into our culture that is crazy. And
You know one thing that bothers me about light skin, about light skin people being so, like you said, being so praised, and oh, they're the prettier. When I go on Pinterest, I go on Pinterest now, and if you notice back, like back before locks really started being cute, it was always brown skin
mm-hmm,
people wearing the locks, the different locks.
mm-hmm,
I go
mm-hmm.
on Pinterest and literally I have to put in brown skin girls with locks to find styles, because it's like they
Wow.
push light skinned girls with locks. Light skinned girl,
Wow.
at this point, I feel like y'all just. I feel like at some point y'all only wanted the pretty hair. Y'all thought y'all was cute because y'all had the pretty hair, the pretty look,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pretty skin with the
yeah,
pretty hair. Now y'all trying to
yeah.
steal our locks. Now y'all trying to
Now
steal
you
our locks. I'm mad because y'all trying to steal our locks.
for me, even down to like when it comes to sororities, I always thought that AKAs, well, they were known to be of just fair skinned women. They was just
Yeah,
always light skinned girls with pretty hair. And
not
Deltas
name,
was always a dark skinned girl. It
not
wasn't really too many light skinned girls being
right.
a Delta. It's all when you look at AKA in their history, it was all light
More light
skinned women
skin,
with pretty hair.
absolutely. That's what
And it's like,
you know what?
dang,
I thought the same thing. When I lived in Virginia and we used to go over to the college, we used to go over to VSU. I always thought that, like, you can't be an AKA unless you light skinned. I always thought
yeah, but
that.
now they are changing the narrative. I do see a lot of darker skinned women being AKAs. Light skin is closer to being white. Yeah. Closer to being white for most of them.
I
And it was
think the
like, if when you look back at like when I went to the set show when they had CIAA weekend here, they had like a Greek set show. And all of the you can see how it transitioned from when all of the older AKAs, you see a lot of light skinned older AKAs versus now you got, oh, I'm seeing a couple more dark skinned ones coming about, AKA light skin Delta. Yeah. Zeta, now Lonnie, you not Zeta with us. I know some Zeta women and they are not ugly.
Oh God.
Maybe back then, but I get what you say because yes, that is so true. But yeah, AKAs. When I look at like how the older generation of AKAs were, all you see are light skinned women, and now
Mm,
when you see the older generation of deltas, well, deltas to me will always just be the epitome of black excellence. I love me a pretty delta, like So it's like the deltas. You looking at them like, oh, they are all darker women, like. So you can definitely tell, even with the sororities, how it kind of that colorism got pushed into that too. Like it's so crazy to see just how some of the stuff was. Even when you think back to like high school days, like
right.
your head cheerleader. Your head cheerleader was always, if you went to a predominantly black school, your head cheerleader was probably 9 times out of
Light
10 light
skin.
skinned.
Yeah.
She was probably
Right.
light skinned.
The football
Yep.
player.
Football player. The
They hit
quarterback might have
the
been dark because
quarterback.
one thing I know about dark skinned women, they love them a black ass man. They love them a black, dark skinned man. One thing I learned about light skinned women, they love them some chocolate men, honey. They do not
I
like their own color. Not to be like, colorist here. That
right.
the movie School Days, that's really what came to my mind, Lonnie. That really what just came to my mind. School Days. School Days is really
Oh,
what
I
just came to
used to
my
like
mind.
me some. That was kind of my thing. Either light skin or out of my out of my out of my race. Either light skin or out of my race is the only
Out of my
people
race,
that I really
yeah.
dated, like Puerto Ricans,
Never really liked light skinned guys.
We
Philippines.
saw those prom pictures.
You know what?
That white man.
I had to break up with him. I had to break up with him prom night because he thought we was going to get married. He proposed to me on prom night. I said, "Oh no, I got things to do."
Mm. Cousin said I did hear that Vegas was ugly and dark skinned. That's why in high school I did Baby Zeta A to Z so I could change the narrative for me being pretty and dark skinned. Okay, you better go ahead and change that narrative, cousin. I love that. Yes. I've always liked light or white in men. See,
Told
I
you.
don't I can't stand me a light
It's
skinned
the,
man. I can't do light skin. Ain't nothing wrong with them. I think they cute, but it is
I just did
nothing for me.
not.
For me, it ain't nothing like a sexy
Is it
chocolate
a reason
man.
why?
Is it a reason why? No, no. I just never really cared for light skinned guys. It was
I
it was
just
never it wasn't my thing. Like I found some of them to be cute, like oh he cute, but I felt like I don't want to be with no light skinned man. I want to be with somebody dark, and it's so funny because my child's father is light skinned. Isn't that
look
weird?
at me and Nate. We gave her the same look.
And if you see Jalen, you be like, how you get that high yellow child?
I think it's some deep seated stuff when it comes to that. I think it's really that way, and it's
Really?
often. And I'm not saying dark skinned people act this way and light skinned people act this way, but there's a lot of truth in those stereotypes, and it's
Mm,
based in a truth. All stereotypes are based off of a truth, but I think
Mhm.
it's something
Mhm.
psychologically in us that makes us go in certain directions.
Mhm.
It's the same reason why somebody might date somebody white or marry somebody white or
Yeah.
Asian or another. It's a lot
Mhm.
of deep seated stuff within our culture that we have to
Within
address
our
because
culture, yeah.
I hate to always, bring it back to the school system, but you start to see that in your
Starting to be
children.
real. Yeah.
Um, this guy posted this week like he got tired of seeing children with these hoodies on.
mm-hmm.
And I told him,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
said, often, like if you a heavy set person, typically you normally layer up your clothes. But the
Yeah.
same thing is true when you have insecurities. Your children don't
Mhm.
feel pretty. They don't feel valued. They don't feel like you respect them or you like them. Children, whenever you go into school, you always hear children when there's a conflict. Well, you don't like me, Mr. Couser. That's the
Yeah.
first thing that they go to.
That's the
And
first
these
thing. That's the
hoodies
first thing
are
that they
almost
say.
like a security blanket for them.
That's what I was wondering just recently. The older my kids have gotten, I'm starting to notice, because now they starting to go outside, they starting to
Yeah.
hang around their
My
friends.
ex-husband supposed to
All
say,
of
how did
them
you get a
around
white
the
man
same
and you're dark
age
skinned?
as my
One
kid,
thing,
my two oldest
hold
sons.
up. One thing I learned about white men, they love them a dark black ass woman. They
They
love them
do.
some dark skinned women.
They
Do they
do.
love them or do they sexualize them?
Sexualized. I feel like
Think
they
about the
love that.
porn. They do.
Think about not
They
porn.
do.
I feel like they
Or
love
I'm not
that.
gonna
I
say
feel like they love
sexualize
that.
them,
Fantasize,
fetishize
They
fetishize,
them.
do.
fetishize. But
They really do.
I feel like that about white women with black men. I feel like white women fetishize black men.
Hmm.
True.
I feel like that too.
But for white women, from my experience, because my brother only dated white women. For white women, from my experience, is they want mixed babies. They want mixed babies.
Now see, that's a whole nother conversation, y'all.
They want
That's
mixed
a
babies.
whole
That's what
nother
I get out of all of them. They
conversation.
want mixed. Literally, that's the conversation. Since I've been in Baltimore County, that's the conversation that I've heard going to grocery stores, just in general, walking past
You want to
people.
get that out
These
the way?
white girls are saying they want mixed babies. They love their mixed kids. And if you notice, if you all live in Baltimore County, over this way where I'm at, Middle River, Essex area, um, Middle River, Essex, Dundalk, all these
Hmm.
kids is mixed. All these kids out here is mixed because they like them
So
a
most dark
nice
skinned women
chocolate
like a
guy.
white or light skinned man because they think it's produce cute babies.
Just said that.
Oh, that makes sense. Never thought about it like that.
I just said that. It's the same. It's the same. Most most black women want that of white men.
But for
And
me,
Most people in
if I had
general
to
want that.
choose,
Most
yeah,
people in
if
general,
I had to
black
choose,
men
I would
do
want to
it.
have a baby by a dark skinned man because I want a nice, pretty chocolate baby. I
but
want a chocolate baby.
you can produce
Hey,
pretty
but
kids.
Jalen
They
is
don't have
you
to
can
be mixed.
you can produce pretty kids, but I just want a nice. I want a chocolate baby. I want a chocolate baby.
Some of my
I want my baby.
some of my brother's kids, I ain't gonna pick and choose which one because I don't want neither
Right?
one of my nephews to be like, oh, you talking about me? But all of my brother's
You only
kids
got
ain't cute.
two.
All I make,
You
he
only
got
got two. That
three.
ain't
He
right.
got three. And I ain't gonna say
Nah, that
which
ain't
one because I
right.
don't know if y'all watch it. I don't know if my oldest nephew watch it, but they ain't him. But what all of his kids are mixed, but all of them ain't cute to be mixed. All I'm just gonna put it out there. They ain't cute to be mixed.
But and I know within our culture, we're at a level where we do joke about it because it is it's so real that it creates comedy within us.
Yeah,
But a
it
lot
does.
of
It
that stuff
does.
is really rooted in who we are. The fact that you can have two, you look at the Cosbys. I think that's a good indication. They
That's a
used to
good. Yeah,
always
that's a
talk
good.
about the oldest two children being light skinned
Mhm.
and the rest of
Mhm.
them being
Right.
brown or
Dark.
dark skinned. And
Mhm.
how is that possible? Well, we're the only race of people who can have hues of people within our
Yeah.
space. And I think
Within our
it is
space.
something to be said about how we treat each other based off of
Mhm.
how we look. I
Mhm.
have my mother, my grandmother's first set of children, they were all light skinned with these hazel eyes because my grandfather was mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a way, some of them feel like they were treated differently than the
I can
rest of
see
the
that.
children. Then I
I
have
can see that.
my grandmother's last set of children. One of them is light skinned, and they used to always joke her about being the milkman's baby.
I can see that.
um, and it because she was the only light one, and we could explain my mother and her the first couple siblings because they all had the same dad, but it was they don't people we don't first of all we're ignorant about a lot of stuff. The
We
same
are.
thing, if a dude don't think a baby his because it don't look like him. Well, the baby has two parents, so it's not always gonna look like you.
Absolutely. That is
Right.
And
the
your
Right.
dumbest
genes
Right.
thing
may
I
not
ever
be that
heard.
dominant, sir.
That is the dumbest thing I ever heard.
I
Our
mean,
kids
some
are
of it
mixed.
is true. Some of it because they probably do got
But
a
our
different
kids,
father.
we had four kids. All of them have the same mother, same father, and they are a
They all
mixture
look
of
different.
either or.
But they're
Yeah,
they're
they all look
images of
different.
both of y'all families too. Like if you have a lighter skinned person or a darker skinned person, your children can favor your family because
Like
your
Your children are
family.
favorite your
that's true.
family.
Like my
Yeah.
oldest son, out of all four of our kids, my oldest son is the only one that has dimples. And to this day, I don't know where he got his dimples from because nobody in
And
my
he
family
said,
got
"Don't
dimples.
talk about my
It may
grandkids."
be somebody from, say, your father's side of the family. You say you really didn't know him that well. It might be somebody over there, or somebody might not be telling the truth about who the real father is,
My
and that
your grandkids
it's a
ugly.
lot of that. You
I ain't
don't
gonna
know
say
who was
which one, but your
adopted or
grandkids. your grandkids ugly. I ain't gonna say which one, but one of them is. So,
Right.
but
Lonnie
no,
said jeans.
you
It is the jeans. The
you know
jeans
one
is
thing that
right.
I saw on my Facebook a long time ago. So I have different family members on my Facebook, and a lot of my family members on my grandparents, on my grandfather's side, I want to say, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my they have a lot of mixed babies. They have a lot of like mixed babies with pretty hair. And I noticed that
See,
one of my
you said something else. You said pretty hair. What is
Pretty
that's what
pretty
I'm
hair.
about
hair?
to
What
get
does it mean
into.
to have pretty hair?
That's what I'm about to get into. That's
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, not pretty hair, but like, fine hair. You know what I'm saying? Not pretty
Mm-hmm.
hair. Because what's pretty hair? You're right. What's pretty hair? Fine hair.
But that
Let me take
and I
that
don't
back.
think you not that person, but we just have it in us. We
No,
think that that's good hair.
what I'm saying, I don't think it's good hair because I got good damn hair. I got a good lot of hair. My daddy is Irish, Cherokee,
But
and
did you feel that way when you were younger?
I sure did because I had long hair down to my butt. But anyway, the point is
But wait a minute. Your daughter has long, pretty hair.
down to her butt.
Your
That's
daughter
what I'm
has
trying
long,
to get
but
to.
her hair, but she has what people would consider black hair. Black people hair.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to
Your
get
mother
to
said black
because
men like white women because they put up with stuff that black women will not. Oh, now Angie, that's a whole nother conversation now.
absolutely take her off of here because now she's getting people started on Sunday. Now take her off, Nate.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh Lord, now my mother-in-law here talking about my grandkids not ugly. All your grandkids ugly too. I ain't telling you which one. Y'all ain't gonna come for me, Angie and Diane.
Lonnie said, "What's right, Lonnie? What is free hair?"
So no, okay, so let me get
One
back
of
to
my
it. So it's
grandchildren
not
are
pretty.
ugly. Okay, Miss McMillan.
What I'm saying, not is pretty hair. What I'm saying is that was the topic the person had posted was that I love my kids' pretty hair because her kids were mixed. Well, it was particularly her daughter. One of her daughters has really long, like I think they're Puerto Rican and black or something like that. So you know the type of
So
texture that
they're
I'm
black.
talking about.
They're black.
They
So
black.
you know the type of hair texture that I'm talking about. That
They
really like
nigga Rican.
let it get
Wavy.
yeah, it gets wavy, exactly. So she
Like this
posted
hair right
that.
here.
Yes. So she posted that, and it was around when Gemma was 1. And she was like, yeah, she was like, I love my daughter. I love something. It was something along the lines of, I love the fact that me and my husband produce such pretty babies with my hair or something like that. My daughter has pretty hair because she mixed. It was something like that. And her hair was down to her back. But listen, at the same time,
Please post that comment.
you I'm on. So she, so
Oh,
did I just get this out? Y'all play too much. So at the same time, I was bothered by it because y'all know Gemma always had really long, coarse, not really coarse, but really long hair down her back. So I went and reposted a picture of Gemma. I was like, look at my pretty baby. Because my baby hair down her back the same way your baby hair down her back. And her texture ain't that bad. So what you saying? And we got a pretty daughter too. So I felt some type of way about that. That's all I had to say.
But that's in us. That's in us. It's in. We have to acknowledge that it's in us. We say really ignorant things. And I remember one of my, well, she's my ex friend now. She had a baby, and her baby was light skinned, and I used to feel a certain way about light skinned people, but based off of what I experienced. And sometimes, like for me, I'm typically in the middle. So the caramel people, we really don't get it as much as the
y'all don't.
darker skin, lighter skin people get it. Like the beef is normally with the extremes of colorism. But I used to say things out my mouth about light skinned people. And she said, you can't be around my child saying those things because my child is light skinned. And her daughter is one of the most peaceful people in the world. So I could imagine having those ideals about life. And my mother's light skinned. And that's where a lot of those thoughts came from because I saw light skinned people getting treated a certain type of way over someone that was dark skinned.
That's what I
And
was getting
it
right.
just really was.
I
it
was
was an
getting ready to
ugly
say that.
thing. It was
That's
really
exactly. I
ugly.
was
Yeah.
getting ready to say
Yeah.
that. I was thinking about that, and when you first brought it up about you having relatives that had green eyes,
My
I was
hair
getting ready to
is
bring up.
always pretty. I don't care what anybody say. That's right, Angie. Not her
So
comment from two different pages.
so in our conversation today, speaking about colorism, the things that separate us, ignorances. If you notice, the background for today's show is of the rainbow, and is a topic that I am trying to find a space to be able to talk about in ways because I'm again being in the school system, you're seeing things from children that because people don't feel adults don't feel comfortable talking about it, uh, the children grow up in a level of ignorance.
Right.
So this
Right.
month is Pride Month around the
Woo!
country, and I believe around the world.
Around the
Um, and
world.
we're in a space right now where legislation is being created by Republicans, and I'm gonna say Democrats too
That
because they're
rainbow.
sitting back and letting it happen. That in Florida, and I believe in I want to say Florida and one other say Texas or something, they have a no gay bill. Don't say gay bill. Meaning in the school system, we're not well in that state,
Wow.
you're not allowed to talk about it. Like the teacher can't bring it up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really a child can still bring it to you, but you're supposed to refer them in that state to the guidance counselor or the social worker that's on duty for them to have a conversation and then contact the parents.
Hmm.
But I think right now, in terms of pride in general, uh, the LGBTQ plus community, and that plus is allies, people who support gay and lesbian, transgender, non-binary, so on and so forth, individuals. And I think it's really important for, especially on a black platform, to be able to speak about issues like this. The same way we're going to talk about women's anatomy and how they're creating legislation for that, so on and so forth. But whatever questions you may have or comments you may have about the LGBTQ, even if it's not in our sense positive, whatever you may feel, I suggest start writing that in the comment section now,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
and really figuring out what that means. If you have questions,
Rainbow.
I, I don't think any of us are expert on LGBTQ. I don't think anybody
Right.
is, but whatever. Let's start the conversation somewhere. So I'm
Right.
gonna give it
Okay.
back to the lady just to be able to, you know, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Are you LGBTQ plus?
I'm whatever I want to be
I
for whatever they say. Listen.
Kill
Not
used to be
today. She
funny.
said not
I'll let
today.
her share her own story. I'll let Kill share her story. But
I
for
ain't shaking.
me, I support
Yes.
um my
Yes,
closest
mommy.
sister. She is a lesbian. I have a cousin who is gay. Actually, my other cousin who is, I don't know how long she has been a lesbian, but she is now the one who was commenting. She has a girlfriend who I
You just
absolutely
putting
adore.
people out there, clocking
But
people
she
left
Yeah.
and
knows,
right.
she put herself out there. She knows, she was saying herself. I'm a lesbian now, and she's proud of who she is. And for me, I'm proud of that because I know she comes from a very religious family, and where her parents are um pastors and stuff. So that for her is a journey that she talks about. When she came
Hmm.
to Baltimore in January, I got a more in depth look of her, and definitely look at her in a different way now. And I admire her because regardless of what her parents may believe, she has another belief system, and that for me is major. But anyway, so most of my cousins, a lot of my cousins are of the LGBTQ community. I support. I don't have a problem with anything that anybody, whoever you choose to be with, is who you choose to be with. Whoever you choose to love is
Absolutely.
who you choose to love. And I am happy for whomever. If you want to come out the closet, you want to stay in, you want to be whatever. Be who you are because no
Absolutely.
one can be you but you. But
Absolutely.
I'm same gender loving. Yes, same
So
gender loving.
I have a couple questions,
Okay.
and just like we were talking about colorism before, uh, there's a lot of things that happen within our community where when you get mad, especially when a woman gets mad at a man, even when a man gets mad at a man, the first thing you attack is his
Is the
sexuality.
sexuality. I have never done that
Wow.
before.
All right. I was
But
going to say
we witnessed it happen. We've watched people walk out of a store, and if they may appear to be gay or
Different.
trans, or
Mhm.
we watch people laugh at them and joke them, or
Mhm. Mhm.
be
Mhm.
disrespectful or even
Yeah.
violent. And
And
most
yeah, or
times,
even violent.
and people
Yeah.
don't do anything. And I'm still seeing that happen with individuals. We're still learning about things like that happening.
I think
Um,
overall, if you
mhm,
see somebody, I think overall, my thing for me and the way I was raised, if you see
That's
somebody
right, Lonnie. What is
overall
coming
being
out?
treated bad, you supposed to take up for them. That's overall. That's across the board. That's how I was
Mhm.
raised by my
Mhm.
grandmother.
mhm.
By my parents. If you see somebody being bullied or treated bad overall, you no matter what the situation is, you want to be there to assist and you want to take up for them. So I can't say, oh, because they was gay, I ain't taking up for him. That's wrong. Oh yeah, he deserved it because he dressed like a woman. I just think that's wrong. I just think anytime you come into a situation where you feel like or you see that somebody is helpless, and like the lady that the transsexual lady that got the transsexual, it was a couple years ago. The guy walked up to her and started beating her at the car. I think it was like in Texas or somewhere down south. It
Mhm.
was a transsexual, and
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
reported him. He just started beating on her.
Right.
Like something like that's just crazy. Like that they I don't really know what to like how you would categorize. I don't know if they say he, she, or they. I don't really know.
Well, some people have their pronouns now. People use their pronouns. Like your pronouns, if you are identified as what they call a cis woman, you would be a she, her.
Okay.
But I don't know what people pronouns are. My pronouns are she and her. Um, some people, I believe, transgender women use she, her.
Well, understanding, and Lonnie, please step in because he works with these with that. I was about to say genre, with that community, but
He
there's a
works
difference between sexual identity
sexual
and
identity
gender identity.
and gender identity. Okay,
And I think
educate,
for
educate,
and
educate.
I'm just saying for the black
Definitely
community,
me.
we have to not be ignorant because it seems like we are across the board in general. I'm speaking in general. We are
Yeah.
no nos to pedophiles. We're no nos to rapists. We're no nos to drug dealers and well, a little bit. Some people still like to promote that stupidity. But across the board, we are no nos. There's no nos. We don't do that. We don't harm children. We don't harm, elderly. But that's still a community that it's like you see somebody getting beat up, you either put your camera out now or you
Or you mind
laugh
your business.
along with it. Right. So I'm trying
Well,
to
I
understand
don't
where the
like that.
ignorance still lies. Like why do we still
I
promote that type of communication? We've seen it with Dave
my,
Chappelle, Little Baby, Boosie. We promote that level of ignorance because we still think it's an abomination. Even though you can go to church, you're still quoting scripture that you never read before. But
okay,
it's still a
okay.
level of
You
ignorance that
quoting
we
a
still
scripture that
have
wasn't even in
about somebody's
there.
sexual identity
my
Identity.
issue
or
is
gender.
my issue is the the gay bashing. Like if people actually physically putting harm to those
Still.
of that community that are just walking down the street minding their business. How is
Mhm.
it harming you? Like where do you get the right to physically harm somebody just because they're
Well,
walking past you?
that's just because people are mean. People are just downright mean. That's just the same way as how can you not like me because I'm black? It's all the same. It's all the
That's
same. People
exactly that's what I
people
was
just
getting to.
don't. People just feel like they have the right. They feel like they have the right to not like you. They
Well,
don't
I'm gonna tell
care.
you right now here while I'm on my platform. I'm black. I'm proud of it. You come up to me if you want. I got something for you,
Oh,
honey. Like Medea
I just
said.
got a question for
Feel free to
Lonnie or
approach me.
whoever. Stop gays bash themselves. Yeah. what does it mean to be gay, or how does it feel to be gay in America, and not even America, but Black America as
Black,
well,
yeah, that's what I
in
So,
mean.
Black America?
so as we get to that question, Lonnie has said, and it's a controversial topic. Dave Chappelle did nothing wrong. One of the reasons, the last thing he said in his one of his last uh, stand up shows was he's not going to talk about that issue until he realized we're all laughing together. I think
Mhm.
that portion of it was very responsible. But you all had a conversation on this show before about that, and it wasn't so much what Dave Chappelle himself did. It was the fact that he knew that a certain section of people who do bash people, who
Who
are
do that?
disrespectful, he knew
Mhm.
that the things that he was saying, they took it as him supporting their cause or
Of their
their
cause,
ideas.
yeah,
And him
yeah.
knowing that and choosing not to then say, hey guys, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. He never counteracted that with a conversation. He has yet to still have a conversation out of pride and pettiness
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
LGBT community because he really feels like he's done nothing wrong. But you help to promote an issue amongst individuals who do this on a daily basis, who are disrespectful on a daily basis, and knowing that the context of what you were saying was being usurped by a certain section of people. That should have came. He should have came out then and said this. And I don't want to get into the whole Dave Chappelle issue, but it's just like us watching somebody get disrespected and we don't speak up. We're just as a part of the problem as the person who's physically doing it.
Mhm.
Right,
So that's my issue with a Dave Chappelle. You know your words have power and weight. Use
right,
them use them wisely.
right, right,
That for me, I'm Black. My sexuality does not define me. Okay, it does not define. Okay, that is true. Your sexuality does not define you. How?
so
Go ahead, kid.
no, you go ahead.
So, how is it that we can help and not and educate one another about the LGBTQ community and I can't say make people feel comfortable because some people are gonna feel some type of way anyway. But what can we do ourselves to help promote positivity for
Well,
the
you're both.
LGBTQ?
I think you're both mothers with sons. You're both
Mm-hmm.
mothers with. Well, you have daughters in your presence. I think the first thing that could happen is one, educate yourself. Educate yourself, and not just because you got a good gay friend that did your hair or you kiki with, because it's different when it's your child. It's
Yeah, it is
different when
different.
it's in your family. But
Okay.
the issue is research, do your history. Don't just go watch some movies, but go follow the history and realize how close that history is to the Black Civil Rights Movement, the Women's Civil Rights Movement. Understand how close those movements are to one another and how similar and how they overlapped each other historically in terms of time periods.
I had
Secondly,
this. Oh, go ahead.
stop raising your children in a space where you are perpetuating those types of stereotypes. Meaning, if your son cries, stop being a little punk.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
when that person is around and your child may say something being funny or just being a child, checking your child and correcting them.
Mhm.
So and
Mhm. Mhm.
don't let that behavior go on
And
because it's a gay person.
I want to also add on an open conversation as you were
It's
speaking
okay
and
when we
saying
use nigga and
talking
call
about
me.
that.
It's crazy how LGBT is in Trump black issues. Why? Because white people have control of the narrative. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I want to add on to
yeah.
that. Just having open conversations with your children,
Just have
which
an open
it really
conversation.
was a little shocking to me. Because a lot of I've had male gay friends in the past, and what I hear repeatedly is that it was looked down upon. It was frowned upon to be black, or to be a gay male. It was frowned upon. It was frowned upon.
There's people who
Mm-hmm.
can't feel like they
My
can feel.
my husband actually said, he was like, I don't like for him to even say that as a father, because that's what most people fear. How if they have, a father or, a male figure in their life or in the household, most I noticed that most gay males, they feel like it might be a disappointment. So I'm keeping to myself. It might, I might disappoint. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
disappoint my dad. I don't want to disappoint and my husband made a statement. He was like, I don't kid. My child is my child. I would never put my child out. If any of my sons came to me and said, I want to be gay or I think I like this gender, I'm not putting them out on the street. I would never do that. And that was like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, damn, wow, you're really the husband I want. I've been looking for, I've been searching for all my life. It's like,
But
Girl been married for
it's
20 years
something
and
to
now
be
that's the
said
husband she
about
been looking
that.
for.
you
Where
said what?
I would go further with him, and I don't know if you have, asking him where did that come from in him. Some people is
Yeah.
naturally in them. Some people were raised that way, but I'm always curious as to what happened. On the good or bad side. If
It's
Janice don't
just,
be like that.
I think it's just like overall, like all the controversy that's going on, with, Magic Johnson son being transgendered.
Mm-hmm.
What's is it the
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, his son?
Dwayne
It was
Wade.
just like we were stuck. It was a controversy
I don't
recently
think
with like
Magic
the way
Johnson's son is transgender. I just think he likes
when
dressing how he
dressing.
dressed because I think he identifies as a man, right? He
Well,
identifies as a gay
it's
man.
not clear. Is I mean, he
Uh,
probably said it on an
he has
interview
not
somewhere
made
or
it.
something.
I don't think he has made it clear. But he dressed how he dressed. He dressed
Right.
Right,
himself.
right, right.
But
But
I
I
don't think he
think
has identified as a transgender
transgender. Got
male. I
it.
think he's just a gay man. Just a gay male.
It was just,
Um,
I think it was just it was something that we went happened to go across on social media, and it was about the way Wade's son, and he was like, I wouldn't do that. They were saying like, I don't see how he can let his son dress like that and be okay with it, or it was some
Hmm.
type of conversation. I think,
you
matter of
know how
fact,
how it
was
came
it a
out how people
conversation he had a
banned
while
D
ago
Wade.
about wanting to change his gender or something like that?
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he have a
changed his.
conversation?
Yeah, he changed
Who?
his name. D Wade's son, well, daughter now. Her name is Zaya.
He wanted to be identified as a
Side as
young
a
girl. He never
yeah.
had a sex. You cannot get a sex change under a certain age,
On the
Yeah,
because there's a process to even getting a sex change as an adult. So
as an
he's
adult.
not. He can't get it. They do give them hormone blockers so he doesn't
Mhm.
develop in terms of testosterone versus estrogen, certain
right.
things like that. But I think him coming out saying he wanted to be identified, or her
As
saying
a
she wanted to
girl.
be identified a certain way, people ignorant. That just automatically made
Rappers and
him,
stuff.
people
Yeah.
wanted him to change his sexuality. That couldn't be
Mhm.
my son.
Yeah,
Well,
and
when it probably is.
that's where the conversation came from. That's where the conversation with me and my husband, we saw that, and he said, I don't care what my kids, if my kids come out and say, okay, they want to date males, I'm not going to sit there and shun them out. I would never put my child on the street or make my child homeless and say,
In
oh,
2020,
you
most kids are
gay,
not being put out because of sexual.
you like males.
Yeah, we
That's
need
not,
to.
I'm going to
Yeah.
support and love my child, my sons, no matter what they do. It's my son. I can't just shun my son out for something like that, or
But
my
there are
daughter.
plenty
Which
of
it
parents
is,
that
but it's
do.
not all inclusive. That's just sons, daughters too.
That's
Daughters
what I just
too.
said, and my daughters
But see,
too.
here's the problem that I have with the black community is that most of our most black parents will be okay with their daughter being a lesbian, but not okay with their son identifying as gay or being a gay man. Because we as a society have sexualized women on women. Like it's just, oh, that is the epitome of the sexual height, a woman with a woman. But it's like when it comes down to us as a society thinking about, oh, a man with a man, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. But it's like
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
We don't make
you
space
can't pick
for
and
them.
choose. You can't pick
Right.
and choose. You can't pick and choose which one you like because one is more sexually arousing than the other for some
I
people.
think
You
that's the
can't pick
biggest
and choose
thing.
what you
And I
want.
think that's
You
the
can't do
biggest
that.
thing.
It needs to be a real conversation because I have a client who's an adult now who now wants to detransition. Someone that we
Mhm.
need to get a true understanding of who we want to be.
To
Yeah,
be true.
I
Absolutely.
have saw a few stories on Facebook where a lot of people wanted to detransition, and
Right.
I didn't really get too much of a backstory of as to why, but for some people, I feel like it's fear. They can be hurt.
Right.
Anything can happen to them. Anything, as long as my children are healthy and happy, I'm happy. Oh,
And then also, Nate, I know you was asking where my husband got it from. So his mother actually commented, my mother-in-law, she said from him, from her,
That's
and she
mother.
said, loving Pastor McMillan. She
Hmm.
said, loving your children with no limitations.
And that's but see, and that's an example of, and that's an example of, you cannot feed your ignorance to your child. One, because it's dangerous, and we're witnessing a lot of mass shootings right now. And I know
Absolutely.
that doesn't go along with this, but it does, because a
and
lot of those parents in those homes are bringing up their children in that way, and you're not understanding how your
Hatred.
you're
child
not
is not
understanding.
racist.
Hatred.
Your child, but you're putting those things in your child. Your child is not homophobic, but you're putting those things in your child. So when they go to school, I have students. I'm not going to say where they are at this point, but I have students that, and then every ounce of what I think would happen to them, I don't like to project, but they're doing things that would lead someone to believe that that's what they're gonna be when they get older, gay or lesbian. But they are bashing other students for having those same issues, who may be
No,
more
because they're battling
outwardly
themselves.
So
showing it.
They're
I
battling themselves.
I have a
So,
personal question. I have a really personal question, and it's been like kind of like a question I had for a long time, because watching these
what's the
stories.
question?
It was a story that a long, long time ago. It's just stuff that's coming up now. When then we
I
hear,
was making sure I wasn't a part of this
yeah, you were
narrative.
part of the question. Let me ask you something, Nate. Say no. No,
What
no.
you
Okay.
hear?
My question is, how how early or how young is it that a child feels like, okay, I want to wear dresses? I see that a lot. Like you just
Mm-hmm.
like your child is 5. He can't make decisions that he want to wear dresses. Do you think that's appropriate, or what are your thoughts on it? Like if your child decides, oh, I'm 5, I want to be a girl, and they just start buying girl clothes. They just clear out the closet and start buying all these girl clothes at
Well,
5.
look, I think first of all, as parents or guardians, whomever is in charge of that child's well-being, it ain't about you. It's not about you. For the family members, the public at large, it's not about you. So if this what once was a little boy decides, I want to be a little girl, you don't know what is influencing that. And we talk a lot. You've heard the phrase social construct a lot in the last couple years, because everything that we see is a social construct, from the color blue versus the color pink. From you know uh, little boys wearing pants and shorts and little girls wearing skirts. We can't have it both ways, where women want to be free and liberated, but yet you bash men for doing the same thing, and vice versa. We have to begin to make spaces. And I'm saying all that to say, I don't know what to tell an individual parent, because an individual parent is going to do what they feel is right or safe for their child. And having your child who was woke up one day and decided, I no longer want to be a boy, I feel like I'm a girl. Most parents prohibit their children based off of society, not even what they personally desire. It's based off of what society
What
will feel
society?
about my child. So you limit your child based off of your fears about how people are going to think about you, and not
Yeah,
what's best for my child.
not yeah.
Now,
What's best for my child?
I think there needs to be baby steps, like not just clearing out the whole closet and I'm just wearing dresses, but understanding why they want to wear dresses. Because children don't, especially young children, like up to
They
first
don't
grade, second grade
understand. They don't
sometimes,
understand.
they just see something and they emulate it. Now, that's not to say that they don't know who they are. But just like you today, You wanted long, pretty, kinky hair, but tomorrow you gonna want, you gonna want braids, or you gonna want. Adults don't give children or men space to be able to grow, mature, and be who they naturally will be. We don't do that in our culture. Children and men, we put them in a box and we want them to stay in that box their whole life, and that's it.
Yeah.
Parents don't want their children to grow up, and as culturally, we want men to be this one-dimensional character, and
Mhm.
that's it.
Mhm.
And it's something that
Mhm.
needs to be we have to become aware of it. So my advice to any parent that may be facing that: do what you think is best for your child, but understand your child is going to be who they are with or without your permission. So would you want them to be free like Dwayne Wade is giving his child that freedom? Or are you going to do like a Magic Johnson and just try to get your child to 18 and hope that in that process
It'll
don't nobody
change.
find out? Because we didn't find out about Magic Johnson's
Yeah,
son
until
until he
him,
was
until
grown.
he got older.
And
Yeah.
they knew, they came out and said they've always known, but they just wanted to paint this image based off of his father's career. And
Interesting.
that's, well, your father already had controversy around him, so
Right.
why hide him? But I
Right.
think Dwayne Wade and them trying to get ahead of it, understanding how people spin narratives, and then them just wanting to let their child be their child. Because if you go back into the story, Dwayne Wade's ex-wife was not for this. She
Yeah.
was totally against it.
Yeah.
I can't remember
And
the it's a
it even got to the point where everybody was blaming Gabrielle, saying that Gabrielle was putting this all in their head and
right.
making him do this, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, that is not true.
Right.
He said most times we as a mother realize the behavior change way before the child does. We sure do.
Yeah.
We sure
Yeah.
do. We sure
Yeah.
do. And
But
like
you
you said,
don't.
it
But
started
as
when they're young, and we
But
try to
as
break
black
it.
parents,
But as
when
black
you
parents, we
notice
try to
those
break it.
changes, that's when the conversations need to be had. And you don't have
That's
to
when it.
define them as anything. You're
But
not
instead
looking
of us
for a
making a
definition.
conversation or having a conversation, we try to break them out of it. They gonna get. You ain't gonna do this, not at my
Yep.
house. That's the first thing we say. Now I don't know
Yep.
how we're going in a white household, but I know in black households, that's the first thing that we say. You ain't playing with no damn dolls. Put
I
that
was
damn
It
gonna
doll
happens. I
down.
mean, it happens
You
in white
know.
or non-black families, but they normally
Mhm.
go the route of we gotta get you into therapy,
therapy. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
was.
get you
Yeah.
some therapy. Yeah, versus black people just straight. Hell no, put that
or
goddamn
they
doll
beat
down.
them.
Beat
They
them.
try to
Yeah.
beat
They
it
beat
out
them.
of them. They try to pray it out of them, and
Try to.
you know who
Yeah.
your child is gonna be.
Mhm.
But you're doing all
Mhm.
of that for you to save face for
To save
yourself.
face for yourself. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're boxing your child into this box so you look like a great parent.
Right.
Mhm.
So your
Mhm.
child, we see that right now. Y'all watching the Bad Boys of LA or the Bad
I
Boys
have
Club
not
of
saw it.
LA or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Kirk Franklin's son is on there.
Yeah.
So we're hearing about all this arguments that keep happening between them, but he came out on this reality show.
Mm.
So that's what Kirk Franklin's been fighting all these years. So his son is not just this bad seed. He was something that did not fit Kirk Franklin's image of
Right.
this
Mhm.
church man, this
Right.
gospel artist who don't sing, by the way, but this gospel artist.
Always throw a little shade on sight.
I'm just saying, but
But it's the
so that
truth
means your
though. It's the
image was
truth.
based off of something that wasn't real.
Right.
But instead of you realizing my child needs
And it
me
might not
more than
necessarily
I
be
need a
him
Grammy,
though. If you think
then
about it, I started watching a show called what is the show? It's a show with Yolanda Adams. She a star in it. I think it's
yeah,
Heaven's
it's like a
Business or
church
something
show.
like that. Yeah, I started
Thank
watching
you for
that.
tuning in, Lonnie. It was a pleasure to have you.
And
Please come back. He's amazing. You are so
she
right. We deny it. Yeah. Yeah.
it might not necessarily have been him. It might be PR. It might be, something behind it that we can't have this image for you, so you need to deal with it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's your damn child.
I
That's your child.
That PR
We put
agent
our
didn't
kids
bust
on
that
our
nut
kids. That's
and
right.
have that child. You did.
You did.
That's that when we still seeing these celebrity issues unveiled like this. we're doing the same thing at home. I
Right.
know
True.
We
plenty
doing
of
the
people
same thing
who
at home.
have denied their children, who have kicked their
Mm-hmm.
children out of the house, who have ignored the
Mm-hmm.
fact of who that child is. I have a cousin, an older cousin, my mother's cousin. Um, her mother, my cousin has been gay her whole life. And as an adult, I can look back now and say my cousin was gay her whole life. And I remember her bringing her first girlfriend around, and they were together for years. She's like my mother's age. They were together for years. I remember one time, neither one of them came to this family function. So I asked, "How is cousin so and so?" She said, "Oh, she's doing fine." I said, "How's her girlfriend doing?" She said, "Her friend, I don't know how she's doing." And I was like, "That's weird," because this lady, she family now, basically.
Right.
But the idea that you could not even admit that you're at this point, my cousin was probably like 40 some years old, and that cousin, her mother was probably like 60 some years old. How in the hell, all this time, you can't admit
I
that your
was getting
child
ready to
is
say
gay?
it's the older
Right.
class.
It's the delusion for me.
That's what it is.
But you want your child
Mm-hmm.
to die not ever telling her truth. And she never did. And that whole, like Lonnie said, what is coming out? Coming out is typically for other people. It's not for you because you have an understanding of who you are. But
You
these men are in the closet. These women are living double lives because society will not accept them. So
Mm-hmm.
often, out of
Mm-hmm.
safety reasons and social reasons, people stay in a closet because they don't feel
understand that.
comfortable. They don't
I
think their family are going to talk to them anymore.
That's right. That's
I
right.
understand that. I
They
understand
don't
that.
think their family is even gonna want anything to do with them.
Right? Yeah.
I definitely understand that. That's the biggest thing for me from the conversation that we having, it's just a matter of communication. We just need better communication. We need to be more open, especially to our kids, and not try to shove them off because of who we think might look at us differently.
But
Listen to that.
just like
Who
with
might
any
look
other
at us
issue,
differently?
yeah. But just like with any
Not your
other issue for
child
me,
or anything
it's
but
gonna
you.
take time. These things are gonna take time, and what's gonna happen is we're gonna have to have generations of these issues
Mm-hmm.
killed. But it's only gonna take the new generations that's coming to debt the issue. And I think as we grow in a society, all of the issues that we are dealing with, like LGBT, like black issues, racial issues,
Colorism,
those
such
things
and
will
such.
slowly start to decline as other generations come about because they're not going to be worried about that. They're not
Right.
going to be thinking
They
about that.
aren't.
That's not going to be on their mind. And then we're going to become slowly but surely, maybe in 3032, a society where race isn't an issue, sexuality isn't an issue.
Well, we're
But
already
it's going to take
there. If
time.
y'all listen to your
We're there
children,
a little bit, yeah. We're
well, your
there,
children
but
are already there for the
you
most
still
part.
have
It's
parents who are
adults.
like my age and maybe a little bit older, who have kids that are, coming out or saying, "Hey, mom or dad, I'm gay or I'm lesbian or I'm bisexual," and they like, "What the fuck you mean?" You know. Even
Why you mad
with my
though? Why you
ex's daughter,
mad?
when she came out and said she was um bisexual, it was like, hold up, how do you know what you are? And for her, she didn't understand what it meant to like a girl. I said, you can like a girl and think that a girl is pretty, but do you like her in the way of, I want to hold her hand, I want to, like her, or do you like her because you think she's cool? For her, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, when I broke these things down to her, like, okay, well, do you see yourself? And let's be real with this. Can you see yourself giving her a kiss? Can you see yourself holding her hand? Can you see yourself going out in public like, this is my girlfriend? She's like, wait a minute, we do all of that? Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, but and I get what you're saying, but children aren't there yet.
But
So when
they're
we
not there
ask
yet. But in
children,
her mind, she
she
was
just
thinking like,
liked
oh
her.
no, I just liked her. Yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't make you gay though.
She
That doesn't
probably
make
heard
you
it
a
around
lesbian. That means
around
you, oh, I like this
other
girl. I like
friends.
being around her. I think she's cool. That's what
But
that means.
would you say the same thing to your son
I would
who
say the
had a
same thing to my
girlfriend.
son. I would say the same thing to my son. And I had
That's
said the
a
same
good
thing to my
But
son.
conversation.
does him liking that girl make him straight?
Does him liking that girl? No, it does not make him straight. Because that
So
may just make him cool in the
I
moment.
think the conversation that comes from those questions that we have for our children, or the communication we have for our children, we shouldn't even be discussing those things with our children. Do you like this
Yeah.
person? And that's what it is. Because for a child, I'm gonna tell you, there are a handful of children that know what sex is, that
They
watch
know what's
porn on
sexy.
a daily
Uh-huh.
basis, that are having
Uh-huh.
sex themselves, and then you have a whole other section, just as many, who don't know, have no basis for any of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And that's the
we
problem that I
sometimes,
had with my
right.
ex, that you were trying to be so, shy and tiptoe around certain conversations with your daughter when it was like, she know these things, right? You know she's not living under a fucking rock. Even though you trying to put her under the rock. You know when you leave from under that rock, she leave right behind you 20 minutes later, right? You do know that, right? You do know
No,
we have a cell phone in America, and you know these things.
sometimes, and you can think about that, but sometimes I'm telling you,
I'm gonna say this:
because
he
I'm not
knew,
gonna
but he
put her
was in
business out there.
denial.
I'll say my
Let me
cousin.
say that.
I thought honestly, I used to fight in school. I used to fight in school to the point where my mother, after elementary school, we couldn't go to the same schools no more because I was physically getting in fights about my cousin, because my cousin was a fast ass. She was fast. She was fucking before any of us thought about fucking.
Ooh.
And what was hard about that was I was I just knew my cousin was a. I used to fight people because they said those things about her, and I'm sitting there like, you was, and then it wasn't until she had a baby, and I was like, oh,
Oh, you was really out here fucking though.
she was really out there
Now
fucking.
be in the fights.
I've got me in
Over her
fights in the
name, you out here
neighborhood,
giving it up.
right? But they don't want to see that, they're not sexualizing their child, so they really don't
they're
want to
not.
see
Yeah,
it,
they don't.
and they
That's
don't
true.
see it.
That's true,
A
because
lot
we
of
had a
men
friend
do
like
be in
that.
denial when it comes to girls. A lot
That's
of men, when
true.
it comes to their
We
daughters,
had
be in
we
denial
we had
about
a
what
friend
their
like
daughter
that.
is doing.
We had a friend that we grew up with just like that. Remember that
In
her whole
denial.
family
Even
denied that she was having sex. They thought we was the hoe. They talking about, yeah, they had bad
You
influence.
hanging out with them hoes,
You
them
hanging
bad
out with them.
influences, and we
And
like, wait a minute.
she
And
was
that's
the
what she the one out there
only one.
fucking. Mm-hmm.
He was the
Yeah,
only one.
it was that, it was like, damn, wait a minute, we it ain't us. But it's I try when it came down to him and his daughter, it was like I be wanting him to see that you know these things are happening, but in the back of your mind you're trying to push it back to say, if I don't think about it or if I don't talk about it, then it's not going to be happening. When in all actuality, it is. You know it. You have the proof. The proof
And that's the one who child ended up
But
pregnant at 14.
that's what I'm saying. You pushing it back like, no, she not. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, I digress. I can't push you but so much to make you say, hey, let's have this conversation. Even when Jalen, even as a single mother, when Jalen was watching porn at 9, wait a minute, do you know what you're watching? Do you know what you got going on?
You know.
You go ahead
and I'm
watching
like, wait a
porn.
minute, I'm having these conversations with him.
You go to watching porn?
Yes, that's what happens when you have kids with cell phones in America nowadays.
Oh, they ain't got no
This
cell.
is a powerful weapon for children now.
I'm just saying it to you. I have children that in my class, I've caught them watching porn.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the schools now, you hear the child making the sound. That's the new way to annoy a teacher.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But they're getting it from there.
And they be like that too. Like, this cell phone, I say this to all parents out here right now.
And I work in the elementary school.
These are powerful. Check your kids' fucking phones. What they got going on? Check that browser history. Check them text messages. Check them fucking everything. Check them TikTok. Check that Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just being transparent. Like, my mother didn't walk
Even
in.
YouTube.
She didn't walk in on me watching porn, but I used to watch my stepfather's porn. but that's when it was a tape. And I
Yeah.
was I
Yeah.
was a smart kid, so I knew how to rewind it back to where it was,
Mhm.
like where it
Mhm.
was when he left it out.
Shit, think
You
about
know,
when we was watching BET
I
or
had cable
something,
in my room.
or when HBO had sex on there late at night. We would have it, the TV down
Real
low and
sex. I
have
watched Real Sex.
cartoons
I
on.
watched the
You know, yeah,
Playboy
I watched
channel.
Real Sex. I
Skinamax.
watched
They called it
Taxi Cab
Skinamax.
Confessions. You know,
Yeah.
Taxi Cab
Oh yeah,
Confessions.
I remember that.
Yeah, you
My,
know,
I did not watch that. Somebody told me
I
about
want
it.
about
No, but
Picasso. What was the
I
other
had
one with
cable in my room. I had a
me
big
too.
floor model color
I
TV in my
remember
room,
that.
and I would watch. I mean, there was no way to block channels at
There
that
was no
time.
way to block channels back then.
I
And
But
I
we
remember
just
remember
went,
my
what was
mother
it?
walking. My mother, she would joke me about it, but she never
Mhm.
embarrassed me. Like really embarrassed me. Like
Yeah,
she
never
made me watch
embarrassed
it
me.
in front of
Yeah.
my mother, my grandmother before because I was flicking through the channel. So I stopped there because I typically if I'm in my room I'm gonna watch it. But it wasn't anything sexual to me. It was like this was a movie. I'm thinking this is a movie.
right.
But the children
You
are
gotta even
doing
think about when
these
we were
children
younger. We used to
nowadays.
block the kids' eyes. Turn your head when
Yeah.
they kiss or when they had
Mm-mm.
sex in a movie. Turn your head.
No.
Like, what we turning our head for? We gonna be fucking soon. we finna be fucking. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, turn your
Don't
head.
think
Don't
your
break
children
that
don't
heart.
know.
Don't think your
Please don't
kids
think your
don't
children
know.
don't know.
Because
Oh, we
what you
know.
think they don't know, somebody in school is teaching them,
Oh, we
sweetie.
know. Oh, we know.
They
My
are
thing for me
teaching
when it come to
them.
my kids, my thing for me when it come to my kids, I be telling them all the time. I be telling you, y'all think I'm old, but I'm really not that old. I already did what y'all think y'all doing, so I know what the hell's going on. That's my
Mhm.
thing for my kids. I tell them
Mhm.
all the time. You think you're doing something new? I'm not that old. I know what's going on. Your grandma even know what's going on.
But see, they don't
Mhm.
think about it like that. To them, you mommy. Like, mommy old as hell. She don't do nothing. Mommy don't know nothing.
Yeah, my
She was
kids.
born in slavery time. You know, that's what they think. You know, they
Right.
don't know. Like, I was
Yeah.
just a teenager in 2004, 2005. That wasn't that
Right.
long ago for us. You know,
Right.
for us, it was just like yesterday, our teenage years. It might seem
Right.
like a long time to them because they was born in 2010, but to
Can
us,
I be real with you? It wasn't yesterday for you.
Oh.
It wasn't.
shut up. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Well,
Yeah,
y'all.
you have a good memory, but it wasn't yesterday though.
Shut
Well,
the
y'all,
hell up.
I'm getting ready to go get my hair done. I ain't got time. It was a lovely show. I
It
gotta go
was a
get my
lovely
hair
show,
done
though.
Hmm.
It was a
so,
lovely show.
so I can meet Crystal at this safari club.
She lying. She ain't going no damn where.
I'm
But
going
y'all,
to
sorry to cut the show short. But if you would like to become a sponsor,
sponsor.
Please DM us or email us at I.Am.She Podcast. No, PodcastIAmShe@gmail.com. Don't put him out there like that. Yeah, guys. This is a very great show. Sorry
It
we had to cut
was.
it short, but we are kind of over our time anyway. We all have busy lives. Sorry to give you guys that. But see you guys here next week. Please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube at the Artist Exchange. On Instagram and Facebook at I.Am.She Podcast. We thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, we are right back here every single Saturday from 11 to 1. So
Sometimes
come on
11:15.
in. Sometimes 11:15. It don't matter. But you know you're going to come here and get a good conversation.
Right.
With that being said, you guys have a great day. KD,
Have a
you
great
blessings. I'll see
weekend.
you. KD birthday is on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh, wait. Tuesday's the 7th?
Yes.
We about to turn up. I'm just saying.
You coming out? Come on out,
I'm
y'all. We have a big
coming.
ass.
I'm
Listen,
coming. I'm
we
getting ready to go
have
get my
a
hair done.
party.
Get ready to go get my
Google
hair
the
done.
address. I don't know it. I know it's on O'Donnell Street. I don't know the address. Google Safari Nightclub. It is lit. Listen, let me tell you guys. Very fun, very cool vibes. No drama. Always an older crowd. When by older, I mean at least 25 or 30. Come on out. Can't wait to see you guys. Hope to see you tonight, KD. I doubt you come. Nate,
I'll be there.
I would love if you come because Nate turns up.
Well,
Yes,
no,
Nate, come on.
we can do something next weekend.
Nate, come on.
When's my mama birthday weekend next weekend?
Oh, I'm definitely
After
coming
the
out next
show.
weekend.
My
We can
mama
do a
birthday is on
brunch or something. We
Friday.
can do a brunch next week.
We want to do a brunch. Come on out to this safari club.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
Safari
Oh,
Club.
and
That
then
sounds.
also, guys, real quick, we were planning on doing. We're thinking about this. We're gonna give more details. Don't forget the I.Am.She Fun Day. Let us know if you guys would be interested in attending and what kind of games you would like to have played. We're thinking about softball, kickball, probably have like a water balloon fight or something like that. But just let us know, guys. If you have any ideas or anything you would like to do at this fun day, let us know. It is going to be on a Saturday or a Sunday. Did we say a Sunday?
Yeah, we
Did
said
we say
Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday? We
We
said
said
Sunday or
Sunday.
Saturday. We said Saturday after the show.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
we said
Saturday
Saturday
after the
after
show.
the show. So let
Y'all
us
can have a
know because we
water
can't
gun
be there
fight.
on Sunday.
Oh, that's a
Okay, we
good
can have
one.
a water gun fight. That'd be different. So let us know. Give us some ideas as to what we can do for our I.Am.She Fun Day, guys. We were looking at July 16th, the day before
Crystal's
the Queen,
birthday weekend.
the Queen's birthday. So,
First of all, so what am I? The
if you
princess?
guys,
You talking about day for the queen?
you're a princess.
You call me a prince, I'm gonna punch you in your eye.
You're a princess.
I don't like her.
You guys, if
Thank
you
you
would like to
guys for
come and
tuning
attend,
in.
come on out. Let us know if you would like to join us. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a great Saturday. Happy birthday, KD! Woo! We're gonna dedicate a post to her when her birthday actually gets here.
Yes,
But
y'all can send me some letters on my page, or
and
y'all
then we're
can do
gonna
it
tag
on mine.
her. You know, we can tag her on Instagram and also tag her Cash App because bless her Cash App. Hallelujah. See you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
What is you do?